Okay, let's go. Come on. Hey guys, welcome to another video. Just as a little side note, I barely made it inside before this started pouring down, so yay! Welcome to a video where you're probably going to spend a lot of time watching me feel extremely overwhelmed. And yeah, just, I don't even. I had a whole plan for this morning, and you're gonna watch me just kind of sit here and stare at my screen and have no idea what I'm doing with my life here. But the plan was I was going to print out my budget planner and then do some cooking, and by the end of the day I would have a full-blown printed bound budget planner. And yeah, it was not happening at this point. I think I spent like 30 minutes or even more. I spent a long time talking on the phone, and then I spent like 30 minutes just staring at my screen, just looking at the planner pages, just unable to decide if I was gonna print it, if I was gonna go with something else. Yeah, until I finally gave up and was like, you know what? I need to redirect myself. So I got up and I headed to the kitchen to start cooking because, funnily enough, I looked at the clock and it was like 10 a.m. and then I looked at it again and it was already 1 p.m. So, yay. So yeah, so here you're gonna get to see how I cook, which is I literally pull out everything I need first and then I start cooking. I'm just, I also really regret my choice of the chicken, as in bone-in chicken, because we don't like the bone-in the chicken for this recipe, so I had to cut it out. And if you can see the way I'm holding the chicken, I don't appreciate the texture of it at all. So it was quite the feat. Also, fun fact, I never realized it took me 45 minutes to cook this very, very easy, quick meal. It took me 45 minutes, and I realized because I recorded the whole thing and I went to edit this video and I was like, what on earth? But yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make a very, very delicious chicken and rice in the Instant Pot. And again, as I said, I am going to be buying boneless chicken from now on. Honestly, it is a bit more cost effective, theoretically speaking, to buy like bone-in. But the time it takes me to cook and to cut it up and all of this, it's worth it. It's just worth it. I've decided that, and that is that. So yeah, this is me struggling to cook the chicken, struggling to just, I hate the textures of fat and just, yeah, I'm sorry if anyone is disturbed by the view of meat in this kind of way, but yes, I hate it myself. So let's just get cooking, shall we? This recipe is a favorite of ours. I do get a lot of questions about like favorite recipes and stuff. And I am being constantly interrupted by the girls throughout this process. Just, they keep chatting to me and all that, which, I mean, it's a given. Now I do, as I said before, I do get a lot of questions about favorite recipes and stuff. This one is definitely a favorite recipe. I found it on Pinterest and I tried it, and I will say it does have quite a bit of chili in it, or did have, I should say. I don't add the chili anymore. It's a small modification that we make for our family, and Iris loves this. Angel hasn't tried it yet. She's very, very difficult when it comes to trying new foods. But little Miss Iris loves it. We love it. Hubby has really, he used to only enjoy things like, classic Greek cuisine. And since we've spent so long in Australia, he's just, his palate has changed, I would say. But yeah, so this is really, the main thing with this recipe is the spices, the herb spices that really give the chicken and the rice its flavor. I use chicken broth that I make using stock cubes because we don't have ready-made stock here. That's not a thing here in Greece. And another thing that I do that you probably noticed in this video is I wash up as I am going. I had heard this once when I was watching a sorted food video here on YouTube back in uni. Like this is 2010 we're talking about here. And the head chef of the show, basically, he had said, clean up as you're going. It'll help you and make your cooking experience much better. And it stuck with me to an extreme, I would say. Like, I can't keep cooking. I can't start cooking if everything is messy. I need to wash up my entire kitchen before I start cooking. And then I also cannot keep going if I have too many things that need washing. Like, I need to clean up as I'm going. And yeah, I think it definitely adds a bit of time to my cooking time, but hey, you know, you do what you gotta do. I do enjoy cooking, but I have realized I take longer than I thought I did. I never realized how long it took me to cook until recently. I've been really just kind of checking the times and stuff. And I am watching a YouTube video there, as you can see, because I need something in the background as well while I'm doing anything like this. It's just my brain, I guess. But yeah, it takes me a longer time, especially like when I have to follow specific steps and stuff. I mean, the more I do it, the more I make the same recipe, for example, it gets kind of faster. Like if it wasn't for the chicken here, like the bone-in chicken, it probably would have been way faster than this. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I also have this thing where I want my kitchen to look like I've never cooked in it. So once I'm done, I need it to look like nothing ever happened. Like this. Yeah, I've had that for a while as well. And oh gosh, here we are again. I am sitting overwhelmed at my desk, just not knowing what to do. I think I don't even know how many hours I spent just looking at the same pages of this planner. And it is the budget planner that I've chosen. I bought this a while ago. I used it for a year. Then I haven't been using it properly of late. I've dropped the ball. My finances, well, most of my bill paying has suffered for it. I need to get back on it. And I just kind of was wondering, like, should I buy a new planner completely? Should I print this one? I could not for the life of me decide. And I started printing, and then yeah. So at this point again, I'm doing another redirection because I just got so overwhelmed once again, I couldn't decide. And I thought, you know what, we're doing grocery shopping the next day. I'm gonna print out a grocery shopping list and just figure out a few things that I need to buy because I needed to do something else with myself. And here is the final look at our food, basically. I had to stop for like a break to have something to eat, to just clear my mind, enjoy a meal. This meal is delicious. Have I mentioned that? Anyway, moving on. So after we enjoyed an utterly delicious meal, I once again stared at my screen for quite some time. I did actually manage to start printing at this point. I kind of, decided, printed out the first few pages. I just needed to kind of see it, I printed the front page, which I do laminate when I bind books and that kind of thing. So that was the idea with this one. I printed out the first page, and then once again, slightly overwhelmed, I proceeded to start printing a few more pages, which unfortunately for me, I somehow messed up the sizing. Now this planner is in letter size, so it's a US planner in letter size. Here in Greece, and in Australia as well actually, we have A4 size paper, which is slightly different, and I didn't realize that part of the printouts were kind of chopped off on one side because the pages were too big, and yeah. Also, I do regret not buying a printer that has double-sided printing. I have to pull out the pages and then pop them back in and turn them around the right way and all that fun stuff. But hey, we'll talk about that more in another video where I'm binding homeschool books and stuff like that. But yeah. So again, I turn them around. Here's Iris having quite a bit of fun with the camera. She absolutely loves just chatting away to the camera and being cute and looking at her face and all that fun stuff. But even looking at this video now, I'm getting frustrated with these pages because it was very obvious that it was chopped off, and I didn't realize until I printed a whole bunch of them. And then I noticed, and at that point it kind of set me off a little bit. So look at my face, oh goodness. Yeah, crumpling up pages. I was a little bit done. Time was going by. You can see the light is starting to fade. We've turned on lights. Yeah. And I mean, it's not such a terrible chop off, to be honest, but I knew it was gonna bug me if I bound it this way. and I was contemplating, like, is it gonna bug me too much? Can I live with it? Should I waste the paper? So at this point, I was just completely overwhelmed, completely overthinking everything. I couldn't decide if I was going to reprint the pages, if I was going to just go with them, if I was going to completely quit the planner and just decide to go with a completely different planner, which I contemplated using a planner I had bought for like a catch-all, so to speak. I kind of looked at it for a second. I was like, maybe I can make this my budget planner and just buy another one for this yeah. I was all over the place. And again, at this point, I decided, you know what? There's no point in pushing anymore. I was done. I once again redirected myself and picked up my grocery list and started writing out my groceries. Because in all honesty, this was something that didn't need much thought. Like, I was only writing things I knew I needed. I was simply redirecting myself to something that I knew what I needed to do. There were no decisions to be made. It was literally writing down things that I knew we did not have and we needed. That was a simple, and yeah, like, I wasn't gonna go into, like, you know, recipes or any extra things at this point. I just needed to do something very, very simple, very straightforward. And of course, I do get up a couple of times because, you know, the girls, as always, you know, needing something and whatnot. That does disrupt me a little bit as well. Like, if I'm kind of focusing on something and doing something, and then I have to get up multiple times, it does break my focus a little bit, which doesn't help with my frustration and overthinking and overwhelm. Anyway, moving on. At this point, I was kind of looking through the pages. Hubby had come in and he was like, girl, just print the planner. Like, what are you even? Just go for it. And I took that. I took his permission, so to speak, to just print it again and not worry about the extra paper, the ink, whatever. And I printed out the pages again. I looked through them. I made my decisions based on the fact that he just said, just print your planner. And that definitely helps me, like, getting that external permission, so to speak, sometimes. It just helps in the overthinking. Okay, so while these were printing, finally, I decided it was time to start looking into a few little recipes, more so like Christmas cookie recipes, basically. I have this binder where I have like a whole bunch of recipes, and I specifically wanted to find my Greek Christmas cookie recipes so I can grab some ingredients and try making those in the next few days. And again, I had to swap over the paper for the back printing because I don't have double-sided printing. I regret a lot of choices, but anyway. So I was just looking through my recipes and setting the printer going. No thinking, just printing and finding recipes. That was all I was doing. I was a happy girl. I do have all of my recipes here in this binder, recipes that I've tried and I absolutely love, like my sugar cookie recipe, that kind of thing, as well as recipes that I really, really want to try. I like printing them out. I know a lot of people like keep them digitally and stuff like that, like on Pinterest and whatever. I like having them printed. It's just, I need to have it in front of me, like actually on paper. I'm just, me. Anyway, from this point on, I was kind of looking through the pages now of the printer, of the planner, sorry. And there was a small difference in the size because I had to kind of shrink the pages to make sure they didn't get chopped off and all that, which momentarily did get me a little bit, but then I was like, no, it's not worth it. It is fine. And I just continued printing pretty much until, as you can see, it is dark now. I don't even remember what time this was. It was getting late. I was done. I printed halfway through the planner, so I printed all the way up to June. There were another 6 months of printing to go, and I was done. I was literally done at this point. So I made the executive decision to leave this for another day. I had wanted to have a full planner by the end of this day, but it's okay. So this is where I leave you, and I hope this video was, interesting. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.